the Average Me channel. And this is going to be kind of a weird one just because I'm at a different location. I know my lighting isn't great, and I know the camera seems like it's really, really far away. It looks kind of funny when I do that, the perspective, doesn't it? Ooh, like 3D. Uh, so this is our first 3D live stream. And what a week it has been. I just have to make sure, as always, that I am actually streaming here because a lot of times, we start doing the live stream, and then for whatever reason, it doesn't show up on the channel. And right now, I don't see that it's showing up on the channel, so that concerns me just a little bit. Um, I wonder what channel I'm going out live on right now because I'm not seeing that on my feed. Oh, there we are. All right, now life is better. So it has been a really, really busy week. And I'm glad that we have it. By the way, how do you like my Halloween necktie? I know it doesn't look great, especially with this shirt, but it's only 2 days late, right? So I guess I have to celebrate somehow. Oh, I know what I can celebrate with. I know it's not this. This is cool, refreshing water. I was on my trip and I really did kind of go crazy with the bad eating. So I'm going to buckle down now and I'm going to start into the good, healthy eating habits once again, drinking fresh, clean, pure water. And, I worked too hard to lose all that weight. I don't want to fall back into bad habits. But welcome, everybody. It's great to have you all here. And what brought me back to Disney, as you know, I was not, um, I did not have a Disney. I shouldn't say I didn't go to Disney because I did go to Disney a handful of times, but not in the traditional sense, in that I haven't had an annual pass since COVID. When COVID happened, they closed the parks and they suspended passes. And when it came back, they really didn't extend the passes the way they should have. What they should have done is froze the passes. And then when you decided to go back for your first time, they should have, uh, you know, revalidated them. And that's not the way they did it. And that irritated me just a little bit. And oh, Callie, hi. You can't see this, but my little girl is coming to visit me. So um, I didn't get another pass. Now, I had been back to Disney a few times, but not to go into the parks. I went back to Disney, and I think a time or two I went to some of the restaurants and the hotels. I went to the monorail hotels. I went to Disney Springs, but I never paid for a Disney annual pass. Now, the same thing with Universal. The exact same thing happened. So I haven't had a Disney pass and Universal annual pass for nearly 5 years, 4 years anyway. And so I renewed or repurchased my passes once again this year. But what really brought me there, dun, 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 dun. Yes, I attended a Disney Institute course class there. And as you can see, I did graduate. And so I spent a few days doing that. And then it was going to be kind of weird because I had to work I went there on Wednesday and Thursday for the conference. And then my daughter was going to meet me there on Saturday in Orlando because she was flying in from Texas. And I had to go back to Naples to work on Friday. Then at the last minute, my manager said to me, I didn't have to come in on Friday. I still had to work, but I could work remotely. So I really scrambled to get a hotel room at the last minute. And so if you're watching the channel, you saw that I'm doing things a little out of order. I had a room tour video at the Contemporary Hotel. That's why, because I was doing the Disney program. And then I jumped to having a larger room at the Hilton Grand Vacation Clubs at SeaWorld. But in between there was a sliver or something, and that video is probably going to break tomorrow. So in that short time period of what was it? I guess it was a week. I stayed in three different hotel rooms on two different properties. So that's what happened there. And oh my goodness, I went a little crazy, a little hog wild. I'll get to that in a minute. Something really horrific happened while I was at my conference. Um, you may have heard about it in the news, but the hotel I was staying at, where I was having my conference, a person there on Disney property committed suicide, jumped off the building, and it was very, very tragic. Um, and that happened, right outside our conference room. But that's neither here nor there. I didn't see it. I didn't witness it, thank goodness. And my heart goes out to the family of the person who, whose life took such a turn that they felt they had to do that. Please understand, I mean, my life has been in chaos and in turmoil for the past couple of years. Um, Most of you know I lost my wife in the past year, and it was devastating. And terrible things happen, but you got to plow through. Seek the help that you need, get the counseling you need. Don't give up. Life is too precious. So anyway, when I was there, I thought I'd buy a mug. I ended up getting one, two, three, four, five, six mugs. All right, let's take a look at them. So if you watch a video, the one that broke today, you'll know that I went to Trader Sam's. Trader Sam's is a fantastic tiki themed um, bar. It's more than a bar though. It's I don't know, cantina, a tavern. I don't know what you would call it, but it was very, very cool. I've always enjoyed Trader Sam's. Hard to get into, however. And if you watch a video, you know what I did is I went up, and by that point there was only standing room. There's only two standing room places there in the bar. It's at the end of the bar where it used to be the waitress service area. And I guess they determined if we can get two more people in, we'll do it. And they said, well, I can get you in right away, in 10 minutes if you don't mind standing. I didn't mind standing, so I went in. So you can watch a whole video if you want to get a gist of it, but here is what I left with. So I got this mug. This is, it's a shrunken head. Oh, by the way, I have my shrunken head over here. I know you can't see it very well. Got my shrunken head over here. And maybe we should have Chester give us a little prediction today. But I have my shrunken head, and this comes with the zombie cocktail. Now, I already had one. This says it is 5th edition, and I have another one here. What edition is this? This is the 3rd edition. So I could really stand to get some of the others, but here are the two that I have. And I have them in my tiki bar. Right hanging above them and between them is one of my shrunken heads. So I'm really, really happy I got these. And I don't know if I need 1, 2, and 4 or not. But I know also at Christmas time, they make one like this and it has a Santa Claus hat. Maybe I'll go back. I don't know. And then they have a cocktail called the Hippopotami, which of course is in with the tiki. Oh, I guess it's just the Adventureland theme in general, because they talk about the tiki 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 room where the birds sing words and the flowers croon. Some of it is that, most of it is that, but they get a little bit from the Jungle Cruise as well. So the hippopotami comes from the Jungle Cruise when they have the animals, the elephants and such. So this is the hippopotami mug. It says Trader Sam's on the back. Now this one does not have an edition, but this is the other one that I have. Okay, so these are similar mugs, but they have different paint. So you can only get these at Trader Sam's, and you can only get them for the period of time that they have these. These are the ones that they're running with or having. So those are really very cool. So you think that would be enough, right? 2 mugs is enough for any man. But what I went ahead and did is I thought they have a new restaurant called the Beacon Barrel. Not Beacon Barrel, Beak and Barrel. When I first heard it, I thought it was beacon, like a sea beacon, a beacon barrel, but it was not. That makes sense though, have a beacon on top of a barrel. I don't know why it's called the Beak and Barrel. I guess I do, because of the parrot, the pirate parrot. Um, I haven't put the video out yet, but I will. It's a neat place. It's right outside Pirates of the Caribbean in the Magic Kingdom at Disney World. And it's it's a pirate themed restaurant, tavern, bar, oasis, whatever you want to call it. It's very cool. They have a map room, and at a certain time, it gets eerie and the lights go on and off, and suddenly secret messages appear in the map room. And there's a parrot. The pirate parrot comes out occasionally, and he talks and he leads you in a rousing chorus of yo ho, a pirate's life for me. And when he comes out, then he says, drink up, me hearties. And everyone has to respond with yo ho. So, anyway, I went there, had a snack, and I had to buy the mug. This is an incredibly detailed, really cool mug. Look at that. Isn't that neat? And so this is a first edition because it's from the Beacon Barrel. The Beacon Barrel is a hard entry to get now. They only let you stay in there for 45 minutes, and it's hard to get. But what I did was, while I was in the park, I kept checking and kept checking, and finally I saw an opening, 2 of them, in fact, at 7:10, I think, and 9:20. I thought, wow, that's strange. All of a sudden something opened up and I was able to get in. Then it hit me. What happens at 7 and 9? Parade and fireworks. So something opened up. Either someone realized, oh, we're going to miss, the fireworks, and so they canceled the reservation, so I got in. And then surprisingly, when my daughter joined me, I checked first thing in the morning and I got in again. So I got in at this brand new place that people have been saying that they've been trying to get in for months once they announced the opening. And I got in twice within a couple of days. So you would think that would be enough for mugs, wouldn't you? Those of you who are familiar with Haunted Mansion. Well, they have the hitchhiking ghosts, right? So I was at Disney Springs and I saw hitchhiking ghost mugs. And my daughter used to work. She worked several times at Disney. And this is Ezra. So Ezra is her favorite character in the Haunted Mansion. He's one of the hitchhiking ghosts. And then I thought, well, if I'm going to have one, I know I'll get home, then I'll be disappointed that I didn't get the set when I could. So I have all 3 of the hitchhiking ghost mugs. Now, one thing was very disappointing because I did go to Jack Lindsay's. Now, that is a restaurant in Disney Springs. And the story is Jock is a pilot. He's the pilot from Indiana Jones, the original Indiana Jones. Remember when Indy was running and those natives that were chasing him, throwing blow darts and, spears and stuff at him? And his pilot was fishing and he didn't know if he had a fish on the line. He didn't want to let go of it. And Indy was yelling, start the plane, start the plane. So the story goes that Jock retired. He started a flying circus, and then he opened up this restaurant. And he had a drink called the monkey head. And it was a really cool mug. Now, if you watch a video from about a year, no, about 2 years ago, and I had a shelf and I knocked it, and the mugs that were on there came crashing down, and two of them were largely irrelevant, but one was my monkey head, and it smashed. And I thought, well, next time I get back to Jack Lindsay's, I'm going to buy a new monkey head mug. They no longer sell mugs. And I asked the bartender, and he said, yeah, they were walking away. People were stealing them as well as buying them. So it is impossible now for me to get a monkey head. I went online and people are selling them for ridiculous prices, like 175. I'm not going to pay that for a mug. But if anyone comes across a monkey head, I forgot what they call it. It's a monkey head. Maybe I should look it up and see what it was actually called. I will look that up. Monkey head drink. Jock Lindsay. Let's see what it's called. Cool-headed monkey. Cool-headed monkey, it's called. So if anyone comes across it, they know someone that has one and they're not charging an outrageous fee. I would love to get my cool-headed monkey mug back. So, okay. Now, what is this? Someone said, who dis new phone? I don't know what that's all about, but anyway, so I got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mugs. Oh my God. I really shouldn't be spending money so frivolously like that. Hey, let's turn this guy on. Let's hear him.
You there, come close to the glass. Ask a question, then hit the button.
Chester, am I spending too much money on mugs?
Future looks murky.
I didn't ask if I'm spending, if I'm going to get more in the future. I'm asking if I spend too much as is. Oh, now he doesn't want to answer me.
You there, come close to the glass. Ask a question, then hit the button.
All right. Did I spend too much on mugs?
As I see it, yes.
Well, if Chester says I spent too much on mugs, I guess I spent too much on mugs. Then I did go to Universal. 2 times I went to Universal, and it was a great time. I hadn't been there in a long time, and let's see, I went on so many new rides. When I was at Magic Kingdom, I went on Tron. Tron's a roller coaster that you ride like it's a motorcycle. I went on that. I'd never been on that before. I went on the Guardians of the Universe at Epcot. I had never gone on that before. It was the Food and Wine. And that's why I did such poor eating. I went to Food and Wine. I tried some new restaurants, and it's not good, but I'm on my way back to good health. So, so I did Tron, which is brand new. I did Guardians of the Galaxy, which is brand new. I went on Spider-Man, which I had never been on before at Universal. That was a cool little attraction. Then I just did all the things that I hadn't been on in years. So I know I spent too much time on YouTube. Chester's not sinking his head in disappointment. You just can't see it. Chester has, maybe if I move this, you can see he has a glass down here.
You there, come close to the glass. Ask a question, then hit the button.
See, to come close to the glass because he has a Tiki glass down there. Is there anything in your Tiki glass, Chester? He's going to check. I can rely on it. Okay. So anyway, that was my week. And unfortunately now I put this up. My daughter and I put this up. So the Tiki bar is coming along. The whole main part of the Tiki bar is right over here. And this is the part that I'm still working on behind me, but we put this up, so that's looking pretty good. I know you can't even see some things off to the side, but all my other mugs are up there. And yeah, A lot of stuff, as you already saw, here's one of my other shrunken heads. So it's coming along swimmingly, as they say. Other than that, what do I have coming up this week? Well, I think it's right now coming up this week. I have to clean the house. Um, you know what it's like when, I got things cleaned up and then you have a guest over and, it was family. So it's not like I had to put on airs, but now things are just a bit of a shambles. I brought all this, new stuff into the house and then we started moving things around to put this up. So it's a little chaotic in my house. So the next few days, I'm going to have to get back into, my regular exercise routine and eating better and cleaning the house and a lot of laundry to do and ironing. And so just living life. And I got to get back to work tomorrow. So that's where the futures take me. I'm sure there's more things that I haven't talked about. I opened up a coconut today for the first time. No, yeah, yesterday I did. And I got some of that coconut water out of it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's always fun, there's coconuts around here and they must have been taking them down or something. I don't notice a lot of coconuts up in the trees, but there were several on the ground. And I think what happens, they harvested them and then they dropped a lot of them. And then today when I went for my walk, I didn't see any more on the ground. So I think they came back and picked them all up. But in the meantime, I got myself a good fresh big coconut and I took my machete to it, got some of the coconut water out of it. So that is about it. I hope that you guys had a happy Halloween. I really didn't do Halloween because my daughter was over. So I didn't do that. So that's why this is as close to a Halloween celebration as you're going to get from me. I should have put my batteries in this. Um, this is, if you remember last week, I showed you that cage made out of bones and it had a candle in it. Well, this is a candle. I got the candle out. I haven't replaced it yet. I was going to put, or I will be putting a shrunken head in there, but I haven't done that yet. So that's another one of my projects. But we got a lot going on. So I had an exciting week. It was great to see my daughter and get back to Disney and Universal and add mugs to my collection. And did I ever show you that, guys? My tiki bar is called the Meow Tai because, as you know, I have a couple of cats. So it's the Meow Tai. I made my own menus, cocktail menus. So on here we have the Mai Tai, the Jungle Bird, the Painkiller Zombie, a Navy Grog. Um, so there's just some cocktails if anyone ever comes over. And Saturn, boy, I can't even read anymore. I'm really getting old. Yeah, Saturn. You think I made the menu that I would know what's on it, right? But they're kind of classic, easy cocktails to make. So if you ever come over to my house, if you're ever in Naples and you want to come by and see the Tiki bar, I probably won't drink with you. I'll probably have cool, refreshing spring water. I'll make a drink for you. So everyone, I'm going to see what messages have been left. Um, so don't you miss those snowy drives from Milwaukee to O'Hare? Actually, my daughter and I were just talking about that because she lives in San Antonio, but she went through Dallas Fort Worth on a return trip. She talked about how short that second flight is. There is no regularly scheduled flight as short as O'Hare to Milwaukee. O'Hare was not my home airport. Milwaukee's Mitchell Field was my home airport. But oftentimes flights would connect at O'Hare. Now, Chicago and Milwaukee are like this far apart, right? It was funny because that was about a 12-minute flight. The plane would not even get over 10,000 feet. It would go up and it would almost instantly start descending again. It was so funny. But there were times when it was just more efficient to fly out of O'Hare. So yeah, quite a bit of time I would drive to O'Hare. It was probably an 80, 90-minute drive for me by the time I got to the airport. Usually what I would do is there's a parking lot of Mannheim. Mannheim is a road that goes right past the airport. And sometimes I knew it was going to be bad weather, I would stay at the Hampton Inn on Mannheim. Because the cool thing is you could leave your car parked there and then they would shuttle you into the airport. Problem was, one time I did that and a bad ice storm came through Chicago. I came back, there had been an inch of ice on my car. I couldn't even get the doors open. The handle was frozen over. I couldn't get my hands in the handle. And I must have chopped ice. It was so cold. Oh, it was bitter cold that day. And I must have chopped ice for an hour. I finally got in the car and was able, fortunately, the car started. And I turned on that heater and I waited and waited and waited until I could, the glass could start to warm up a little bit. But no, I do not miss those snowy drives to anywhere. Back in the old days, Delta Connection used to fly from Lexington to Cincinnati. Wheels up, wheels down was roughly 10 minutes. Yeah, sounds like the same type of thing. I remember a hotel tour there. Didn't you stay at the Garden Inn in Des Plaines by the air? Yes, I did. I did that only once. Usually I stay because I think I was doing a program there. That's why I stayed at that Garden Inn in Des Plaines. And everybody, it is Des Plaines. Sometimes people accuse me of saying the name wrong. They're obviously not people from Chicago. It is Des. Now I'm wondering, was Des Plaines where John Wayne Gacy lived? Anyway, Des Plaines is where the first McDonald's was. And years ago, it had to be 6 years ago now, I did a video on well, it's what Ray Kroc said was original McDonald's. Obviously, the original McDonald's was out there in San Bernardino, and they even franchised a few of them. But Ray, he had kind of an ego. And so he called McDonald's number one his first franchise that he opened. And I did a video on that. And yeah, I did stay at, boy, you got a good memory. I did stay at that hotel. Um, so, but that was more because I was doing as you know, I'm a public speaker and a facilitator and a presenter, and I was doing a program in the Chicago area out there in Des Plaines. So now I want to check something out here, just because I got myself curious um, about Des Plaines. But Des Plaines is pronounced Des Plaines, which makes me curious because, okay, it says, I was checking about John Wayne Gacy. His home was located in unincorporated Norwood Park Township, but the investigation that led to his arrest was initiated by Des Plaines Police Department. Okay, I knew there was a connection there. Um, but anyway, Des Moines is the same type of thing as DESMOINES, but that's Des Moines, no S on either of the two words. Des Plaines, kind of a similar situation, but you pronounce both S's. Go figure. It sounds French to me. Maybe a French person could explain it, or maybe it's just people mispronounce things, and uh, that's the way it went. So Ryan says I was just weird. Ray Kroc is one of the most efficient jerks to ever live. The movie about him was quite cool. I think the movie exaggerated a little bit because one of the McDonald brothers commented on, not on the movie, but on Ray, and he said, a lot of that's exaggerated. He actually invested when he got that $1 million check, which was a lot of money back in 1962 or whenever that happened. It was an enormous, enormous amount of money. So first of all, they got that. Second of all, they tried to franchise and they were unsuccessful. So Kroc did something they couldn't. So that was not thoroughly fleshed out in the story. And finally, I forget which one of the McDonald brothers it was, but he invested heavily in the McDonald's Corporation, Ray Kroc's McDonald's, and did very, very well for himself. So don't feel too sorry for McDonald's brothers because if it wasn't for Ray Kroc, there would be no McDonald's. The McDonald's brothers tried and they couldn't make a go of it. So it doesn't make as exciting. Yeah, the guy was an egotist. Yeah, the guy was, um, sometimes he was kind of a nasty jerk. I'll give you that. But, he wasn't 100% bad. Sully bashed the movie makers for painting Bad Light for similar reasons. Yeah, that crash into the, where did he crash? Was it the East River? Anyway, yeah, it's a movie. He did make that statement, though. I understand he did make that statement about if one of his competitors was drowning, he'd put a garden hose in his mouth or something like that. But that's hyperbole, right? That's the type of stuff that people say to make themselves seem like they're tough businessmen and competitors. You know, I try to give just about everybody a little leeway because we all say and do dumb things, right? I know I certainly have, and I would hate if someone took some of my worst moments and held me to it, but nevertheless. So I think that's going to be it for how many minutes did we get to today, by the way? We got to a half hour. So that's good. I like the live streams to stay at about a half hour because when people come by and they want to look and they say, oh, half hour, I can do a half hour. Why not do a half hour? So, okay, we're going to have I'm going to make one shot now that's going to be my thumbnail for this. All right, so I'm holding this up. And if you wonder why I'm doing this, it's for my thumbnail. Okay. Not much to look at, but this is all I have. I'm nothing without this face. All right, everyone. I want to thank you so much for joining me. I know I say this every time, but I mean it from my heart. I know that you can be doing other things. The fact that you took some time out, either right now, today, to spend time with me, or you're coming at a later time and watching, you can be doing other things with your time. And I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. So thank you all, and I will see you next week here on